My child, stop and listen, for heaven itself is leaning close to speak to you. You have waited, wept, and wondered if the tide would ever turn, but I tell you now with divine urgency, everything is about to turn around, starting right now. This is not a distant promise. It is a present decree. I am breaking delays, reversing losses, and rewriting the story you thought was over. Do not let these words pass you by. Open your heart, for I am about to move swiftly, and what you are about to hear will shift the very course of your life. My beloved child, I have seen the weight you've carried, the invisible burden that presses against your heart when the world grows silent and no one seems to notice. I have watched you hold it together when you felt like breaking apart, smiling for others while tears formed behind your eyes. I have seen you lie awake at night, turning your pain over and over in your thoughts, wondering if I still hear you. And yes, I have heard every whisper. I have counted every tear that has fallen upon your pillow. Not one sigh has escaped my notice. You think you have been alone in those moments, but I was there, sitting beside you in the quiet, feeling every ache within your chest, hearing every question your heart could not find words to speak. You must know, my child, that what you carry has not been wasted in my sight. I have not ignored your pain. I have gathered it, sanctified it, and I am shaping it into something beautiful, something eternal. You see, while others saw only your struggle, I saw your endurance. I saw your faith that refused to die, even when hope seemed dim. The world measured your strength by what you could do. I measured it by how long you kept believing in me when everything seemed against you. Every moment you chose to trust me in your uncertainty, you were sowing seeds for a divine harvest. You asked, "Why so heavy, Lord? Why this long season?" And I answer you now, because I have been forming you, not just blessing you. I have been deepening your roots so that when your turnaround comes, it will not be shallow or fleeting, but unshakable. The weight you carried was not punishment, it was preparation. I was teaching you to lean on me when nothing else could hold you. You learned to depend not on your strength, but on my faithfulness. You learned to pray not just for answers, but for intimacy with me. Even now, I am lifting that weight from your shoulders. You will feel it begin to lift not because the circumstances change all at once, but because you are changing. You are beginning to understand that I am with you in all things, not as a distant God, but as a present Father, walking beside you through the fire. And as I carry what once burdened you, you will begin to feel light again. The heaviness will lose its grip, and peace will take its place. So, rest now in this truth. I have seen every detail of your journey. I have not missed a single moment. You were never unseen, never forgotten. I have been with you from the beginning, and even now, I am moving within the very weight that tried to break you. Hold still, my beloved, for what once felt like a burden will soon be the very thing that ushers in your breakthrough. Everything is about to turn around. Listen closely, my beloved, for I speak into the very atmosphere surrounding your soul. Your season of heaviness is coming to an end. A long night that seemed without dawn is beginning to break with the light of my promise. You have carried the weight of many yesterdays, and it has pressed upon your spirit like a shadow that refused to lift. But I tell you now, that shadow is retreating, and a divine reversal is being released in your life. The shift has already begun, not somewhere distant, but within you. The heaviness that clung to your heart like chains is losing its hold because my Spirit is breathing freedom into your being. I am removing the garments of sorrow and dressing you in garments of praise. You have felt unseen, forgotten, buried, but you were not buried to die. You were planted to grow. The soil that seemed to suffocate you were the very ground I prepared to bring forth new life from your pain. Every dark moment was a seed sown in faith, and now the earth of your struggle is breaking open with resurrection power. You have wondered when joy would return, when peace would once again find your doorstep, and I say to you, joy is not coming from the outside in. It is rising from the inside out. I am stirring life within what you thought was dead. I am calling forth laughter where you only found tears. I am transforming what was once your burden into your banner, and you will soon testify, surely, the Lord has turned my mourning into dancing. This turnaround will not just touch one area of your life. It will ripple through everything connected to you. It will touch your family, your work, your dreams, your health, and even the atmosphere of your mind. Do not mistake this new beginning as a slow return. It is a divine pivot. Suddenly, what was difficult will become easier. Where doors were locked, keys will appear. Where paths were unclear, the fog will lift. I am not only shifting circumstances, I am reordering time itself on your behalf. What seemed wasted will be redeemed. What felt delayed will come swiftly, and what appeared broken will reveal its divine design. You will look back and see that the heaviness was never meant to destroy you but to usher you into a greater depth of my presence. So take heart, my child. The turnaround is not coming someday. It has already begun. Even now, you are crossing the threshold of transformation, and the weight that once defined you is bowing to the new glory that rises upon you. You have looked at the calendar of your life and wondered, why has it taken so long, Lord? But hear me now, your waiting was not wasted time. Every moment of delay was divine preparation. You thought the promise was forgotten, but I was behind the scenes refining the promise bearer, you. I did not withhold blessings to punish you. I delayed them to protect you. Had I released them before their appointed time, they would have crushed you instead of completing you. You asked for open doors, but I had to first build within you the strength to walk through them without fear, the wisdom to steward what I was sending, and the humility to carry it with grace. I was not just preparing the blessing for you. I was preparing you for the blessing. When the world told you that nothing was moving, I was rearranging everything. When it seemed like your prayers bounced off the heavens, they were echoing through eternity, aligning with divine timing. I watched you grow weary, but even your weariness became sacred ground, for in that exhaustion, you learned surrender. You discovered that my plans are not delayed by human timelines. They unfold at the intersection of faith and readiness. The longer the way, the greater the weight of glory that vowed. Do not think that I ignored your prayers. Every not yet was my way of saying, I'm making it better. I saw what you could not see. I saw dangers disguised as opportunities, distractions that wore the face of blessing. I withheld what would have derailed you and reserved what would elevate you. Now, the preparation is nearing completion. The foundation I built in secret is strong enough to hold what's about to arrive. You are standing on the edge of manifestation, and the delay that once frustrated you will soon make sense. You will say, if it had come sooner, I would not have been ready. But now I see why God waited. So do not despise the waiting. It has forged endurance, faith, and resilience within you. Every hidden season has added weight to your purpose, and now that purpose is about to unfold before your eyes. The delay was never a denial. It was my divine hand setting the stage for your perfect moment of fulfillment. Do you remember the doors that shut in your face? The ones you begged me to open? Do you remember the times you thought you had missed your moment? The opportunities that slipped through your hands like water? I tell you now, none of those doors closed by accident. I shut them myself. You saw rejection, I saw redirection. You saw endings, I saw beginnings. Every disappointment you endured was a thread in the tapestry of a story you could not yet see. I did not allow those doors to open because they led to rooms that could not hold the greatness I planted within you. I kept you from lesser things so that you could inherit what was meant for you from the beginning. When you cried, "Lord, why did you take that from me?" I whispered, "Because what I am giving you is better." But you could not see that yet, for the pain of the closed door was still fresh. Yet even as you wept, I was working. I was rearranging the pieces, aligning divine appointments, moving people, circumstances, and timing into position. The loss that you mourned was the seed of a future you would celebrate. What you thought with the end was only the hidden beginning of my greater design. If I had given you everything you wanted when you wanted it, you would have settled for less than my best. Would I love you too much to let you live below your destiny? Every no was protecting you from a counterfeit. Every detour was leading you toward destiny. The path may have looked crooked, but I was guiding your every step with purpose. And now, you will begin to see how it all fits, how the disappointments were actually divine direction, how the delays were preparation, how the losses were leading you to gain. Nothing was wasted, not one tear, not one trial, not one lonely night. I have used them all to position you for the promise that is now unfolding. So do not look back with regret. Look back with gratitude. For now you will see that every closed door was a divine hand steering you toward open gates that no man can shut. My child, I have heard the questions you'd never dared to speak aloud, the quiet whisper of "Have you forgotten me, Lord?" that escapes your soul in the stillness of the night. I have seen you sit in silence, feeling as though my presence had withdrawn, as though my promises had faded into the distance. You looked around and saw others move forward while you stood waiting, and you wondered if perhaps I had overlooked you. But hear me now, I have never forgotten you. Before time began, I wrote your name upon the palms of my hands, and no power on earth or in heaven could erase it. Every detail of your life rests before me. Every breath you take, every thought you think, every tear that falls, I know them all. You may have felt hidden, but you were hidden in me. You may have felt unseen, but I have watched over you with a love that does not sleep. You thought my silence meant absence, but it meant I was working in stillness. You could not see what I was doing because I was not preparing something small. I was preparing something eternal. My remembrance of you is not casual. It is covenantal. Even when your faith grew weary, even when you doubted, I did not turn away. My remembrance is not like man's memory, which fades. Mine burns like a fire that never goes out. Every prayer you prayed was written into the fabric of my divine plan, and not one has been lost. When you called out, "Do you see me, Lord?" I answered, "I see you always." You are not forgotten. You are engraved into my purpose. You are not abandoned. You are being positioned. Soon, you will see that the season you thought was neglect was actually nurturing. Like a seed buried in the soil, you were hidden so that you could grow in strength, protected from what could have destroyed you too soon. The darkness you mistook for distance was the womb of my promise. I was not absent. I was present in every unseen moment, whispering destiny over your silence. And now, I am about to bring you forth into a new season of remembrance, where what seemed forgotten will suddenly come alive. You will see doors open, favor surround you, and blessings unfold in such perfect timing that you will know, I never forgot you. You were always on my mind, always in my heart, always under my care. Even when you saw nothing changing, I was moving everything. In the unseen realm, where eyes cannot see and hands cannot touch, I was aligning hearts, shifting circumstances, and setting divine appointments in motion. You thought nothing was happening, but behind the curtain of time, I was arranging every detail to bring you into the fullness of my plan. What looked like silence was strategy. I was moving pieces on a board larger than your understanding, connecting you to people you've not yet met, opening paths you've not yet walked, and preparing answers that have not yet reached your door. You prayed, and it seemed the heavens were still, but my stillness was not inactivity. It was precision. I'm never late, never early, but always right on time. I know you grew weary of waiting. You looked at empty spaces and thought they would never fill. Yet while you waited, I was building bridges across impossible distances. I was softening hearts that would one day favor you, redirecting people away from what would harm you, and weaving events into a tapestry that only eternity could reveal. I was not just moving things around you. I was aligning things within you, shaping your faith, refining your focus, and strengthening your spirit so that when what I've prepared arrives, you'll recognize it as mine. I could not show you everything at once, because your faith needed to grow before your promise could be seen. The unseen was not meant to frustrate you, but to teach you to trust the unseen God. Now, the alignment is nearing completion. The people meant to bless you are drawing near. The paths meant to unfold are straightening before you. What was once tangled will soon flow effortlessly. You will walk into rooms where favor greets you like an old friend, and you will know that every hidden movement was me, working beyond your awareness. Do not fear the silence anymore, for my silence is never emptiness. It is orchestration. I have been behind every scene, turning what was chaotic into order, what was delayed into destiny. And when it all unfolds, you will not say, "I made this happen." You will say, "Surely, the Lord prepared this long before I saw it." You have wondered why the battle had to be so fierce, why the fire burned so hot, why the waves rose so high, why the struggle seemed endless. But my child, the battle was never sent to destroy you. It was sent to refine you. I allowed the pressure not to punish you, but to purify what was precious within you. Gold does not fear the fire, for it knows the flame reveals its true worth. So it has been with you. Every trial you faced stripped away the things that could not stay: fear, doubt, pride, self-reliance, and what remains now is stronger, purer, and more radiant than before. You asked me to make you useful in my kingdom, and this is how I answered: through refining. For it is in the fire that character is forged, in the storm that endurance is born, in the breaking that true faith is revealed. When you thought you were losing everything, you were actually shedding what no longer served your destiny. I stood beside you in the furnace, not as a spectator, but as your shield. The enemy thought the flames would consume you, but instead, they consumed what held you back. You came out not weaker, but wiser, not diminished, but distinguished. Every scar you carry now shines with the mark of victory. I did not let you face the storm to see you drown. I let you walk through it so you could learn that even the wind and waves obey my voice when you trust me. The battle refined your discernment, your humility, your compassion. You now see through my eyes more clearly. Soon, you will look back on what once terrified you and realize it was the very thing that ushered you into strength. You will see that what was meant for evil became the forge of your destiny. You did not fail the battle, you graduated through it. And now, because you have endured, I can trust you with more, greater peace, greater purpose, greater authority. The battle was your training ground, not your grave. The war you thought would end you has crowned you instead. You are emerging as refined gold in my hand, gleaming with glory, carrying the fire not of destruction, but of divine power. You looked at the ruins and thought the story was finished. You watched dreams fall apart, relationships fade, and opportunities vanish, and you whispered to yourself, "It's over." But I tell you now, beloved, it is not over. I am only beginning. Where you see endings, I see beginnings wrapped in disguise. The pages you thought were torn from your story were merely being rewritten by my hand. You saw ashes, but I saw the foundation for resurrection. You saw loss, but I saw the birthplace of restoration. You felt as though everything collapsed around you, yet I was there, not as a distant observer, but as the author who never leaves a story incomplete. Every heartbreak, every failure, every door that closed was a comma, not a period. The chapter ended, but the book of your life is still unfolding beneath the light of my promise. Do you remember how night gives way to dawn? The sky looks darkest just before the first trace of morning. That is where you are now, on the edge of a new day. What felt like silence was me turning the page. You thought the story was over because you couldn't see me writing, but even when the ink dried on your tears, I kept inscribing purpose behind the scenes. The things you lost were not stolen, they were being exchanged. What I am bringing now will not merely replace what was taken, it will surpass it. You are not returning to where you were, you are moving into what you were always meant to become. I am rebuilding from the ruins, but what emerges will not resemble the brokenness of before. You are entering the part of your journey where I reveal why the pain had to happen. You will see that the things that fell apart did so to make room for the greater things now coming together. You are stepping into a fresh beginning where the past no longer defines you, and the future no longer intimidates you. You will walk into rooms that once rejected you, and feel the power of my favor restoring everything that was lost. You will not just recover, you will rise. For I, your maker, never begin a work I do not finish. And I tell you now, the story that felt over is about to become the testimony that shakes nations. What looked like an ending with a setup for glory. I am beginning again, and this time, nothing will be able to stop what I have started in you. You have stared at the ashes of what once was. Dreams burned out, relationships faded, hopes reduced to dust. You stood there holding the fragments of what you loved, wondering how beauty could ever rise from something so ruined. But listen closely, my child. I am the God who breathes on ashes and brings forth beauty. I do not discard what is broken. I transform it. I take what the fire tried to consume and use it to ignite something glorious. Those ashes you mourn over are not your ending. They are the soil of your becoming. Out of the very place you thought was barren, I am birthing something radiant. You have cried, Lord, how can anything good come from this? And I whisper back, watch me. I am weaving together redemption from your ruins. The pain that once silenced your laughter will become the melody of your joy. The sorrow that drained you will become the oil that anoints you for greater things. Every tear you shed has watered the ground for a harvest of gladness. You may not see it yet, but beauty is already beginning to form where you once saw only loss. You thought the fire destroyed you, but it purified what was eternal within you. And now, you will rise from those ashes carrying glory instead of grief, purpose instead of pain, joy instead of despair. You will carry the fragrance of redemption, a beauty that cannot fade because it was born in the fire. Do not despise the ashes. They are evidence that the old season has ended. Do not mourn the fire. It was the divine process that cleared the way for the new. I will make your story so beautiful that even the scars will shine with grace. You will look upon the very places that once broke you and say, this is where God rebuilt me. You will laugh again, not the fragile laughter of denial, but the deep laughter of deliverance. I am turning your mourning into dancing, your pain into praise, and your tears into testimony. What you thought was your burial ground will become your birthplace of beauty. For I, the Lord, do not just restore, I renew, and I make all things new. Every tear you have cried has not fallen unnoticed. it has fallen as a seed into the soil of eternity. I have caught each one, held it in my hand, and marked it with purpose. You thought they were tears of despair, but I saw them as seeds of destiny. The world may overlook your pain, but I have watched it all. The nights you cried alone, the prayers you whispered in exhaustion, the times you smiled when your heart was breaking. Those moments were not wasted. They were planting seasons for a harvest unlike any you've known. For I, the Lord of the harvest, never allow sorrow to go unrewarded. Every moment of endurance, every act of faith, every tear of surrender, all of it has watered the ground for your breakthrough. You have asked, "How long, Lord?" And I say to you, not long now. The season of waiting has accomplished its purpose. What has been sown in tears will be reaped in joy. The field of your life may have looked barren, but beneath the surface my hand has been at work. Roots of promise have been growing, unseen but unshakable. And now, the time has come for the first shoots of new life to break through. You will begin to see manifestations of prayers you thought were forgotten, blessings that have been maturing in the soil of time. The very areas where you wept the hardest will produce the greatest fruit. Your harvest will not come as a trickle, it will come as an overflow. I will restore to you joy that cannot be stolen, peace that cannot be shaken, and favor that cannot be denied. The tears of yesterday are purchasing the laughter of tomorrow. You not regret the weeping. It was sacred work. It softened your heart, deepened your compassion, and purified your trust. And now, as surely as the sun rises after the storm, joy is on its way. You will gather what your tears have sown, and the joy that comes will carry the fragrance of heaven. For I am faithful, and I have seen every tear, counted every pain, and prepared a harvest that will cause you to lift your hands and say, "Surely, the Lord has been good to me." There were moments when you thought I was silent, moments when your prayers seemed to echo back unanswered, and your faith wavered beneath the weight of waiting. But what you did not see was that I was testing the foundation upon which your faith was built. I was not testing you to expose weakness. I was revealing strength. Just as a house cannot stand without first being proven by the storm, so your faith could not mature without being tested. You see, my child, anyone can believe when everything works easily, when doors open without resistance and skies remain clear. But it is in the valley, when the answers seem distant and the path grows dim, that true faith takes root. I was not absent when you questioned. I was watching the roots of your belief grow deeper, anchoring you to truth rather than emotion, to promise rather than circumstance. I let the winds blow and the rain fall, not to break you, but to show you what cannot be shaken. Every delay, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer was shaping the foundation of endurance within you. You asked me to use you greatly, and I am, but first, I had to build you solidly. The storms revealed where fear lived, where impatience whispered, where trust needed to mature, and instead of condemning you for it, I strengthened what was weak, reinforced what was fragile, and established you upon unshakable ground. You may not have realized it, but each trial trained your heart to lean not on what you see, but on who I am. That is the faith I honor, faith that holds fast in the storm, faith that believes my word even when evidence contradicts it. Now the testing is giving way to building. You have been found faithful in the fire, and I am now laying upon that foundation blessings that will endure. You will soon understand why it took so long and why I refuse to let you build on shallow ground. For when I raise you, I do not build temporary structures. I build temples that carry glory. The foundation I have formed in you will hold everything I am about to pour into your life. You will not crumble under success, nor collapse under favor, because your roots go deep into my word and your strength is no longer your own. So lift your head, my beloved. The testing was proof of destiny. The foundation has been proven. And now, I begin to build. You remember the storm, how fierce it was, how the winds howled against your peace and the waters rose around your faith. You remember crying out, asking where I was while everything around you seemed to fall apart. Yet hear me now, my child. I was in that storm, not as a destroyer, but as the master of the sea. Every wave that rose did so only by my permission. The storm was never greater than my hand. I let the winds roar so that you would see what stillness my word could bring. I allowed the darkness to fall so that you can learn that even there, I am the light that never fades. The storm seemed chaotic, but it obeyed boundaries that only I could set. Not one drop of rain fell outside my will. When the thunder rolled, I whispered your name through it, reminding you that even the fiercest tempests must bow to my command. You thought the storm was there to break you, but it came to awaken you, to remind you that peace is not found in calm waters but in trusting me in the middle of the waves. Every gust that tried to push you down was driving you closer to my heart. I did not remove the storm immediately because I wanted you to see that even when everything shakes, you remain unshaken when anchored in me. I am the God who speaks to the wind and says, "Be still." But before I calm the sea around you, I first calm the storm within you. When fear tried to rise, I was already standing guard over your soul. Now, the storm that once terrified you will become the testimony that strengthens others. The same sea that threatened to drown you will now carry you into destiny. You will look back and realize that I was never late. I arrived right when your strength failed, so you could learn that my strength never does. What you thought would end you became the evidence of my sustaining power. You will no longer fear storms, because you have seen what they reveal, that I am with you, always in control, unshaken, unchanging. So rest now, my child, for the storm has passed. The waves are still, and peace, my peace, remains. The promises I have spoken over your life have not expired, my child. Though time has passed, though circumstances have shifted, though hope at times has faded, my word remains alive. It has not grown old or silent. It still breathes with power. I am not like men that I should lie or forget what I have declared. When I spoke those words over you, the dreams, the visions, the purpose, they became living seeds planted in your destiny. Seasons may have come and gone, but those seeds were never dormant. They were waiting for the appointed time to break forth. You may have doubted them, but they have not doubted you. My word is not a wish. It is a decree, and it carries within it the authority of fulfillment. You have looked at your life and thought, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe that promise wasn't for me. But I say to you, my child, I do not speak by mistake. What I promise, I perform. You may not see movement, but beneath the surface my word has been at work. It has been aligning people, preparing opportunities, and reshaping your heart so that when it comes to pass, you will be ready to carry it. Some promises require maturity, some require time, and some require the shifting of generations, but not one of them falls to the ground unfulfilled. Even now, as you read these words, heaven is stirring with movement because my promises are being called into manifestation. Do not let the delay convince you that my word has died. Seeds do not die, they germinate. I am watching over my word to perform it, and I will not rest until it bears fruit in your life. You will soon see evidence, sudden openings, unexpected favor, divine connections, not random, but fulfillment. And when it happens, you will know it was not by your striving but by my faithfulness. Hold on to what I have said. Speak it again. Believe it again. For my word never returns void. It accomplishes what I send it to do, and the time of its manifestation is near. So rise in faith once more, my beloved. What I spoke still lives, and what lives by my Spirit cannot die. Can you feel it, my child? The stirring in the atmosphere, the trembling beneath the surface of your soul. It is the sound of a divine shift taking place. What once resisted you is beginning to yield. What once opposed you is now bending toward my will. I am repositioning everything around you. You are stepping out of what was and into what is becoming. The tides are turning, not by human effort, but by the decree of heaven itself. You have waited long, prayed through tears, and stood through seasons of stillness, but now the ground beneath you is moving. This is not chaos, it is transition. I am rearranging the order of things to align with the word I spoke over your life. A shift may feel strange at first, familiar things fading, new doors opening, unexpected turns unfolding, but do not fear them. This is me moving you from where you were comfortable to where you are called. You see, there comes a moment in every destiny when the old season can no longer contain what I have placed within you. You have outgrown certain places, relationships, and mindsets. I am loosening your roots not to uproot you in pain, but to replant you in promise. You have been faithful in the waiting, and now the waiting is yielding to movement. Do not resist the shift. Flow with it. Even the shaking you feel is not destruction. It is divine calibration. The old patterns must break for the new pathways to emerge. I am shifting your priorities, deepening your vision, and widening your capacity to carry the glory that is coming. This shift will not be partial. It will touch every area, your mind, your relationships, your resources, your spirit. I am changing the rhythm of your days so that my presence becomes the pulse of your purpose. You will begin to see opportunities open suddenly, favor find you easily, and divine order return to the areas that once felt tangled. Do not be surprised when certain doors close or when certain people step back. That is part of the shift. What leaves is making room for what must enter. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted higher. The divine wind is blowing, and you are being carried into fulfillment. Walk in it with courage, my child, for this is your appointed hour. Breathe deeply now, for I am changing the air around you. The heaviness that once clung to you like a shadow is lifting. The confusion, the fear, the oppression that once tried to settle over your mind, it is being driven out by the power of my presence. I am cleansing your atmosphere. The spiritual fog that blurred your vision is dissolving, and clarity is returning like the dawn after a long night. You may not see it fully yet, but you will soon feel it. Peace where there was panic, hope where there was despair, faith where there was fatigue. This is not imagination, it is transformation. I am commanding every storm that has hovered over your life to cease. Every voice that whispered defeat is being silenced, and every lie that kept you bound is losing power. I am reclaiming the space around you and filling it with my light. Do you remember when you used to wake with worry pressing on your chest, unsure how the day would unfold? Those days are ending. My spirit is moving through your environment like wind through a house with open windows, sweeping out the dust of old fears. I am shifting the spiritual climate. Where anxiety once thrived, peace will now reign. Where weariness lingered, energy and joy will spring up again. You will begin to notice it in small ways first, laughter returning to your lips, ideas awakening in your mind, rest coming to your soul. You will find yourself breathing easier because the air around you has changed. It now carries the fragrance of my presence. Even the people who approach you will sense it. Some will not understand why they feel lighter in your company. It is because my peace is resting upon you. Others who once drained you will lose access to your energy because their assignment in your life is complete. I am surrounding you with those who speak life, who carry faith, who will nurture the flame I have placed in you. You are entering a season where my atmosphere will go before you, opening hearts, calming storms, and shifting outcomes. This new environment will not just protect you, it will propel you. So do not be surprised when you feel an unfamiliar stillness. That is my spirit settling. Rest in it. I am changing your atmosphere so that you may flourish in the freedom of my peace. My beloved, I am stepping into the places where chaos once ruled and speaking one word, peace. You have lived with inner storms that no one else could see. You have smiled outwardly while your heart fought invisible battles. But I am entering those secret places now, the rooms of your soul where turmoil has dwelt too long. I am calming the noise that has tormented your thoughts and silencing the fears that have whispered defeat. You will feel it like a gentle tide washing over you, not forced, not fleeting, but sure and steady. The peace I give is not the fragile kind that depends on circumstance. It is the eternal kind that flows from my heart to yours. You have searched for it in people, in plans, in progress, but true peace comes only from my presence. I know the war that has raged inside you, between faith and fear, trust and doubt, hope and despair. You have longed for stillness but could not find it on your own. Now, I am commanding stillness to arise within you. The same voice that calmed the stormy sea is speaking now to your anxious heart, saying, "Be still, and know that I am God." Even as you read these words, my peace is beginning to settle upon you like a mantle. The worries that once screamed for your attention are losing their power, for peace is reclaiming its throne in your heart. Do not be surprised if you begin to notice a deep restfulness you cannot explain. That is me. I am untangling the knots that stress has tied within your spirit. I am teaching you to live from a quiet center, to breathe without fear of tomorrow, to walk knowing that I am already there. Peace is not the absence of storms, it is my presence within them. And now, my presence is surrounding you so fully that even what once agitated you will no longer move you. You will walk through challenges with calm authority, speak with gentleness born of confidence, and rest without fear of what comes next. This peace is not temporary. It is my covenant with you. I am not giving you a moment of relief. I am establishing a lifestyle of divine tranquility. So breathe deeply, my child, and let this truth settle. The war within you is over, for I have spoken peace. Something is awakening in you, my beloved, a stirring that you cannot quite explain. It is the quiet movement of my spirit within your spirit, breathing life into dreams that seem buried, igniting passions you thought were gone, calling forth purpose that hath been waiting beneath the surface. You may feel a restlessness, not of anxiety, but of anticipation, for I am stirring you for something greater. The ground of your heart is being tilled. The old soil is breaking open to make room for new growth. Do not resist this divine unease, for it is holy. It is my gentle nudge, reminding you that you were made for more than survival. You were made for significance. You have walked faithfully through the valley, but now I am calling you to climb. The stirring you feel is not confusion. It is your calling rising. This holy stirring will begin subtly, a thought that won't leave, a desire that grows stronger, a vision that pulls at your spirit. Pay attention to these divine promptings, for they are not random. They are the signals of destiny awakening. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in the beginning is now hovering over your life, ready to bring form to what has long been formless. You will find yourself hungering for my presence more deeply, drawn to prayer not out of duty, but desire. The distractions that once satisfied you will lose their hold because your spirit recognizes that something sacred is happening. I am aligning your heart with my heartbeat, teaching you to recognize the rhythm of heaven. Do not fear the change this stirring will bring. It will shift your direction, yes, but only toward fulfillment. It may unsettle the familiar, but it will awaken what is eternal. You are stepping into a season of divine movement, and everything within you is being recalibrated to carry my glory. I am awakening your gifts, refining your purpose, and awakening faith that dares to believe again. The stirring is not random. It is the beginning of revival, not just around you, but within you. So yield to it, my child. Let it rise. Let the holy fire within you burn again, for this is the sound of new beginnings calling your name. I know how deeply disappointment has wounded you. I know the moments when you hoped boldly, only to be met with silence, when you believed with all your heart, and still watched your dreams unravel. You buried hope because it hurt too much to keep it alive. But now, I am rolling away the stone. The grave of your disappointment is about to witness resurrection. Hope, not a fragile wish, but a living, breathing assurance, is rising again within you. I am not asking you to recreate hope by your own strength. I am breathing it back into you by my Spirit. Every place in your heart where you whispered, "It's too late," I'm speaking live again. Hope is not lost. It was only sleeping, waiting for my timing. You will feel at first like a flicker, a subtle warmth in the coldest parts of your heart. You will dare to dream again, and this time, it will not be empty dreaming. It will be divine confidence that I am still working all things for your good. The disappointments that once silenced your faith are losing their power, for I am rewriting their meaning. You will begin to see that those closed chapters were not the end, but the preparation for what I am now bringing. Hope is returning, but it will not be naive hope. It will be resurrected hope, tested, proven, refined by fire. It will carry the wisdom of one who has walked through darkness and still believes in the dawn. This resurrection of hope will unlock every other promise in your life. As hope rises, faith will follow, vision will return, and courage will be restored. You will wake up with expectancy instead of fear. You will speak words of life where once you only sighed in defeat. My Spirit is breathing over your dry bones, saying, "Can these live?" And I tell you, yes, they will live. The ashes of your past are not the end. They are the altar upon which I am lighting the flame of new hope. Do not look back at what died, look ahead at what lives again. I am the God who brings beauty from ashes, and your hope, my beloved, is being resurrected even now. There are wounds within you that go beyond words, scars from betrayal, loss, abandonment, moments that time could not heal. You learned to move forward, but the pain never truly left. You buried it under responsibilities, distractions, even smiles. But I saw through it all, and I never looked away. My child, I am touching those deep places now, not to reopen them, but to finally heal them. Time can numb pain, but only my love can restore what it broke. You have protected those wounds because you feared the pain of remembering, but I am asking you to let me in. My hands are gentle. My touch restores. I am not ashamed of your brokenness. I am drawn to it. I am the God who heals not just body, but hearts that have forgotten how to hope. When I heal, I do not merely cover what hurts, I make it whole. The memories that once haunted you will lose their sting. The names, the moments, the tears, I will redeem them all. You will not forget, but you will remember differently. The bitterness will turn to compassion, the pain to wisdom, the grief to gratitude. I am removing the poison that has lingered in your soul and replacing it with peace. You will breathe again without the weight of what was. This healing is not surface level. It is cellular, spiritual, eternal. I am touching the parts of you that even you forgot how to reach. And when I am finished, the wound will no longer define you. It will testify of me. You will speak from scars, not from pain. You will walk in freedom, not fear. You will love again without holding back. The healing I bring will not just restore you, it will release you. Those who once wounded you will no longer have power over your peace. I am healing what time could not touch, because what time could not fix, my eternity redeems. So open your heart, my beloved. Let me enter the places you've closed off, for there, in that quiet, trembling space, I am making you whole again. You have wondered why you had to walk through so much pain, why certain chapters were filled with heartbreak, loss, and moments you could never explain. You have asked, why me? And I tell you now, because your story carries power. The things that once broke you were not wasted. They are becoming the testimony that will build others. Every wound you endured, every tear you cried, every storm you survived has been transformed into a message that will reach those still trapped in the same darkness. You thought you were being shattered beyond repair, but I was shaping you into a vessel of healing. The cracks you tried to hide are now the very places where my light shines through. What once embarrassed you will now empower you. The same pain that made you feel small will become the very proof of my greatness through you. You will speak life into others not because you read about suffering, but because you have lived it and conquered it through my grace. Your voice carries authority because it was forged in fire. The compassion that flows from you will come from scars that have been sanctified. You will not only tell others that I heal, you will be the evidence that I do. I never waste pain. I redeem it. The breaking was not punishment but preparation for a ministry of restoration. I allowed you to feel deeply so that you could love deeply. I allowed you to walk through darkness so that you could guide others to the light. You are not damaged. You are divine proof that survival can become song. So when I send people into your path who are weary, lost, or wounded, do not shrink back. Tell them your story. Tell them how you thought it was over, and I turned it around. Tell them that brokenness is not the end, but the beginning of beauty. You will find that as you pour into others, your own joy will multiply. The very memories that once made you ache will become sacred reminders of my faithfulness. You will look at what once broke you and say, that was the doorway to my destiny. My child, you were not broken beyond repair. You were broken to become a builder. And now, through your life, I will lift others who cannot yet stand. You will not just talk about miracles, you will be one. I am making you a living witness of my power, a walking testimony of what grace can do. When people look at you, they will see not what you've lost, but what I've restored. They will see peace where there once was pain, purpose where there once was confusion, strength where there once was weakness. Your life will no longer be a collection of struggles, but a revelation of my strength. I am rewriting the narrative others wrote about you and replacing it with the truth of what I have done. Every place where shame once lived will now shine with glory. You will carry my presence so tangibly that even your countenance will testify before your words ever do. You once prayed for a breakthrough. Now you will become the breakthrough for others. The transformation I am performing in you will be undeniable. People who doubted you will not understand how quickly the change comes. They will ask, what happened to you? And you will say, God happened. This is the purpose behind your process, to display my glory in living form. I did not rescue you just to comfort you, I rescued you to reveal myself through you. You will become a reflection of divine possibility, a reminder that nothing is too hard for me. You are a living, breathing example that pain cannot stop promise and that delay cannot destroy destiny. The world needs living proof of hope, and that is what I am shaping you into. I am clothing you in wisdom, adorning you with grace, and anointing your life with evidence of my hand. Your words will carry weight because they are spoken from survival. Your presence will bring peace because you have walked through the fire and come out radiant. Do not minimize what I've done, magnify it. Do not hide the light that now burns within you. Shine it boldly. You are my witness, and through you, many will come to believe again. Your life is not just a story of endurance. It is a living declaration of resurrection. Wherever you go, the atmosphere will shift because you carry my testimony within you. Look closely, my child. The very ground that once looked barren is about to bloom. The places where nothing seemed to grow, the prayers that seemed unanswered, the dreams that seemed forgotten, I am breathing life into them again. You thought those seasons were wasted, but I was preparing the soil. Barrenness was never the end. It was the setup for abundance. The delay you experienced was not denial but cultivation. You were not in a desert of punishment but a field under preparation. I allowed things to remain still so that the roots of your faith could go deep enough to sustain the harvest that is coming. And now, I am commanding growth. What once lay dormant will begin to move. Where there was lack, there will be overflow. Where there was silence, songs will rise. You will not have to force this increase. It will come naturally because the season has changed. Just as winter gives way to spring without effort, so your barrenness is giving way to fruitfulness by my decree. I am multiplying your provision, expanding your influence, and blessing the work of your hands. The dreams you buried in disappointment will sprout again, and this time they will not wither. Even the areas you gave up on, relationships, purposes, visions, will begin to show signs of life. You will walk into rooms that once felt closed and find favor waiting for you. You will see opportunities bloom in unlikely places. This abundance will not just meet your needs, it will overflow into others. You will become a channel of blessing, a fountain that never runs dry because it draws from my endless source. I am restoring years of loss and making up for the time that felt wasted. Do not say, "It is too late," for I make all things new, even now. The barren fields of your life are turning green, and soon you will see fruit where there once was only dust. The drought is over. The rain of my favor has come, and the harvest will be greater than you ever imagined. Rest now, my beloved, for what I am bringing into your life will not come through striving. It will come through surrender. You have spent long seasons pushing, reaching, and exhausting yourself trying to make things happen. You have believed that progress only comes through relentless effort, but this new season I am ushering in will be different. The blessings I am releasing are not earned by performance, they flow from my promise. You will not have to chase what I have already assigned to you. The doors that open next will open because I am turning the key, not because you are pounding on them. The favor that finds you will not be forced. It will follow you, drawn by my word. You have proven your faithfulness in the waiting, and now I am proving my faithfulness in the fulfilling. Your hands will not grow weary from striving, for I am replacing toil with grace. You see, there is a rhythm to my kingdom, a divine flow where striving ceases and trust takes over. I am teaching you to walk in that rhythm, to rest in the assurance that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. When you move in obedience, you no longer have to force outcomes, because my presence becomes your provision. This next chapter is not about effort. It's about alignment. When you are aligned with my will, even what once resisted you will begin to work in your favor. Opportunities will arise without your chasing. People will be drawn to your light without your convincing. Doors will swing wide because I have declared it to be so. Do not mistake this rest for passivity. It is powerful stillness, anchored in trust. You will do your part, yes, but you will no longer do it out of fear or striving. Your actions will flow from peace, not pressure. You will work with joy, not anxiety. For I am leading you beside still waters, and from that place of peace, provision will overflow. Watch how quickly things begin to shift once you let go of the need to control them. You will see that I can accomplish more in a moment of my favor than you can in a lifetime of striving. Let go of your anxious effort and step into the ease of my grace, for the blessings now unfolding are not wages for your labor, but gifts of my love. You were never meant to walk this journey alone, my child. You have carried the vision faithfully, often feeling like no one understood the weight of what I placed within you. But I am sending help, not ordinary help, but divine connections, kingdom alignments, and people appointed by my hand to walk beside you. These are not temporary companions, they are destiny partners, carriers of the same fire that burns in your heart. I have been preparing them even as I have been preparing you, and now the time has come for your paths to cross. You will know them by their spirit. Their presence will bring peace, and their words will confirm what I have already whispered to you in secret. You will not need to strive for their loyalty. It will be born from shared purpose. I am weaving together a network of hearts that beats in unison with my plan for you. You have walked through seasons of isolation for a reason. I had to remove the wrong voices before I could bring the right ones. The loneliness you endured was not punishment. It was preservation. I was protecting the purity of your vision from those who could not carry it. But now, the season of isolation is ending. The helpers I am sending are not coming to take over your vision. They are coming to strengthen it. They will pray when you are weary, lift when you are burdened, and speak life when you are silent. Their arrival will accelerate what I am doing through you. Together, you will build what could never have been built alone. Do not fear to trust again. Not everyone is against you. I am sending those who are for you. Truly, deeply, divinely for you. They will see you not as competition but as completion. They will not drain you but pour into you. You will find joy again in collaboration, for I am restoring the beauty of unity to your life. These divine connections are part of your next breakthrough, and I am aligning them even now. You will soon marvel at how I orchestrated every meeting, every conversation, every encounter. For when I join hearts for my purpose, no distance, delay, or opposition can divide them. Open your heart, my child, for help is on the way, and together, you will see my vision fulfilled. You have felt the sting of rejection, haven't you? The kind that leaves you questioning your worth. The kind that makes you wonder why others were chosen while you were overlooked. You have stood in the shadows, waiting, wondering if your time would ever come. But hear me clearly now. Where there was rejection, there will now be recognition. I am reversing the verdict. The very places that dismissed you will soon call your name. The tables are turning, not by your might, but by my decree. Every no that once cut deeply was a redirection toward a better yes. You were not rejected because you were unworthy, you were protected because you were chosen. They could not see your value because I had hidden you for an appointed time. And now, that time is here. I kept you covered while I cultivated you. I allowed doors to close so that the wrong people would not mishandle your potential. You thought you were being forgotten, but you were being preserved. Hiddenness hath been your protection, not your punishment. But now I am unveiling you. The anointing that rested quietly within you is about to speak louder than any rejection ever could. Your name is being brought up in rooms you have never entered, and your reputation is being rebuilt by my favor, not by your effort. Those who once dismissed you will watch as I elevate you before their eyes. This is not vengeance, this is vindication. You will not have to prove yourself, your fruit will speak for you. The favor on your life will make others recognize what they once ignored. I am turning rejection into redirection, obscurity into opportunity, and pain into promotion. But remember this, recognition is not your reward, my presence is. Do not chase applause, walk in purpose, and the applause will follow you naturally. I am rewriting the narrative of your life so that rejection will no longer define you. Redemption will. You will soon see how every no was guiding you toward my greater yes. The season of being overlooked has ended. Step forward now with confidence, for I am bringing your name out of the shadows and into the light, not for your glory, but for mine. Do you feel the shift in the air, my beloved? What once opposed you is now bowing before my will. The very forces that rose to hinder you are being turned in your favor. The tables are turning, not slowly, not someday, but even now. The resistance that once frustrated you was never stronger than my purpose. It was simply part of the divine rearranging. Every setback, every betrayal, every closed door has been flipped into alignment with my plan. You thought the enemy had the upper hand, but I was using his schemes as the very tools to elevate you. What was meant to harm you is now becoming the foundation of your victory. You are standing in the moment where what once worked against you will begin to work for you. I am the master of reversals, the one who turns captivity into freedom, weakness into strength, mourning into dancing. You cried over what you lost, but soon you will rejoice over what I bring from it. I am taking the stones that were thrown at you and building them into steps that lift you higher. Those who spoke against you will watch as I use their very words to advance your purpose. Do not look back in bitterness. Look forward in wonder, for I waste nothing. Every delay was a redirection, every disappointment a divine disguise for blessing. You did not lose, you were being positioned for the turnaround. Soon, you will watch events unfold that only I could orchestrate. A reversal is coming so complete that you will struggle to recognize your own story. The storm that once threatened to drown you will now carry you to the shore of new beginnings. Even the mistakes you regret are being rewritten by my mercy. I will extract beauty from them. This turnaround will be evident to all. No one will be able to deny that my hand has done it. You will know it when you feel peace where there once was pressure, opportunity where there once was opposition. So lift your head, my child. Do not fear the process. Rejoice in the promise. The tables are turning, and soon you will see that everything that worked against you has now been conscripted to work for you. Remember those dreams that felt too distant, those visions that seemed too big for someone like you. You held them quietly, wondering if they were meant for someone else, someone stronger, more qualified, more visible. But hear me now. Those dreams were not random. They were revelation. They were glimpses of where I was always leading you. And now, my child, you are stepping into the very places you once only dreamed of. The prayers you whispered when no one was listening have reached their appointed moment. The path that seemed impossible is opening before you, not because of your strength, but because of my faithfulness. You are about to stand in rooms that once felt out of reach, walk through doors you once thought were closed forever, and see with your own eyes the fulfillment of promises you almost gave up on. Every detour, every valley, every lonely night has brought you here. You thought the waiting was a waste, but it was building in you the wisdom to handle what I am now releasing. You were not ready before, not because you lacked worth, but because your character had to catch up with your calling. Now, you have been refined enough to carry the weight of your destiny. When I open these new doors, walk through them humbly but confidently, knowing that I placed you there. You will not need to pretend or perform. You will simply be the evidence of grace. The places I am leading you will stretch you but not break you. You will stand before people who once seemed unreachable, and your presence will carry peace, not intimidation. You will speak words that pierce through doubt and bring healing to hearts that have forgotten hope. Do not minimize what I am doing. You belong here because I sent you. You are not an impostor in the fulfillment of my promise. You are the proof that I am faithful. So when your feet touch the ground of your long-awaited promise, remember this: it was not your striving that brought you here. It was your surrender. You dreamed it, but I destined it. And now, what once was only imagined will become your living reality. I see the weariness in your heart, the quiet exhaustion that sits beneath your smile. You have fought battles no one saw, carried burdens that few understood, and kept walking when every part of you wanted to rest. But now, I am breathing new strength into your spirit. You are not at the end, you are being renewed. What felt like the breaking point is becoming the birthing point. You have come to me weak, but I am infusing you with supernatural energy, not the kind that burns quickly, but the kind that sustains. You will feel it rising from within, quiet yet undeniable, a strength that does not come from striving but from being filled. My spirit is pouring fresh oil over you, healing the fatigue that has settled in your soul. The battles that once drained you will no longer have the same power. I'm shifting the way you fight, not from flesh but from faith. The strength I am giving is not about endurance alone. It is about elevation. You will rise above the very things that used to weigh you down. You will walk through chaos with calm, face challenges with courage, and carry peace into every storm. This strength is not merely physical. It is emotional, spiritual, divine. It will restore your confidence, sharpen your focus, and steady your heart. You will not faint in the middle of your assignment, for I am sustaining you with unseen power. Let go of the thought that you must do it all on your own. Rest in me, and watch as I renew you daily. You are not running on empty. You are being refilled. When others see you, they will wonder how you continue to stand, and you will tell them, "The Lord is my strength." This renewal will not be momentary. It will become your new rhythm. You will wake with purpose, move with peace, and end each day with assurance that I am carrying you. So breathe deeply, my beloved. Strength is returning, energy is flowing, and you will rise again. For those who wait upon me shall renew their strength, and you, my child, are rising on wings like eagles. There is a stirring taking place within you right now, not imagination, but revelation. I am breathing fresh vision into your heart, reviving dreams that had faded beneath the weight of disappointment and delay. The fog of confusion that once clouded your direction is lifting, and clarity is returning like the sunrise after a long night. You thought that certain dreams were dead. The time had passed you by, but I tell you this day, they are not dead, merely dormant. My breath is awakening them again. You will begin to see with new eyes, not through fear or fatigue, but through faith. I'm showing you not where you have been, but where you are going. The visions I am placing in your spirit are not random ideas. They are blueprints from heaven. You once dreamed small because pain taught you to play it safe, but I am expanding your imagination to match my intention. You are stepping into a season where I will stretch you beyond comfort, not to overwhelm you, but to enlarge your capacity for glory. What I am revealing will challenge what you thought was possible. Do not shrink from it. When you see the magnitude of what I am showing you, do not say, "I am not qualified." I chose you precisely because of your humility. Your past does not disqualify you. It has prepared you to carry this vision with compassion and wisdom. The new ideas, divine strategies, and creative solutions that come to you in this season are not your own. They are my spirit whispering direction. Write them down. Protect them. Act on them. You will soon notice that what once inspired fear will begin to stir excitement instead. I am giving you eyes to see the path beyond obstacles, ears to hear my timing, and a heart to discern what truly matters. Your vision will not only guide your future, it will inspire others to believe again. You will speak, and people will feel faith rise within them because they will hear my heartbeat in your voice. Do not let doubt suffocate what I am breathing into you. Dream boldly, move faithfully, and trustfully. The same God who gives the vision will also supply the provision. The breath of heaven is upon you, and where my breath flows, new life always follows. Get ready, my beloved, for what I am about to do in your life will not take years to unfold. It will happen suddenly. You have endured long seasons of slow progress, where every step felt like struggle and every prayer required endurance. But this next move will not come by process. It will come by power. I am releasing a wave of divine acceleration over your life. The things that seemed immovable will shift overnight. What you could not make happen in your strength will now unfold by my Spirit. Sudden change is not chaos. It is divine alignment manifesting in real time. When I move, I do not need permission from circumstance. I speak, and creation obeys. You will wake up one day and see that what once held you bound has been broken. The opportunities that seemed impossible will appear in perfect timing. The waiting that once felt endless will be swallowed up by fulfillment. Do not try to analyze how it will happen. Just believe that it will. The suddenlies I am releasing are not random blessings. They are answers that have been maturing in the unseen. You have been faithful through delay, and now I am rewarding you with speed. Where there was resistance, there will now be release. You will see sudden healing in relationships, sudden breakthroughs in finances, sudden clarity in decisions, sudden restoration of what was lost. But hear me. These changes are not coming to overwhelm you. They are coming to confirm that I am with you. You will know they are from me because they will carry peace, not pressure. They will fit effortlessly, as though they were always meant to be. I am aligning events, people, and moments in ways you could never have orchestrated. Even the disruptions you experience will prove to be divine interruptions, redirecting you toward destiny. Do not fear the pace. I am your stability in the midst of acceleration. You prayed for doors to open, and now I am opening them so quickly that you will need to lean on my guidance to walk through them well. Stay close to me, and you will not stumble. The season of delay has ended. Now comes the season of suddenly. Look closely, my child, for nothing in your life is random. Every detail, every moment, every step is being arranged by my hand for your good. You often see the big picture as uncertain, but I see every thread being woven perfectly into the tapestry of your destiny. The things that seem insignificant, the encounters, the delays, the detours, are all serving a higher purpose. You have wondered if I am paying attention to the small things, but I am a meticulous God. I care not only about the mountains, but also the grains of sand beneath your feet. I am in the details. When you rise, I am there. When you rest, I am there. When you make a decision without seeing the full outcome, I am already preparing the result. Do not underestimate how I work, for my power moves not only in miracles, but also in the mundane. The phone call that came unexpectedly, the person you happened to meet, the door that closed at the last moment, all of it is divine choreography. You do not yet see the pattern, but you soon will. Every disappointment is being repurposed, every delay recalibrated, every heartbreak redeemed. What feels like random moments are actually divine threads that will one day reveal my faithfulness in breathtaking clarity. I have been behind every scene, turning what you thought was coincidence into confirmation. Trust that nothing escapes my notice. I am the God who counts the hairs on your head. Do you not think I am managing the steps of your path? I am arranging meetings that will propel you forward, opportunities that will reveal themselves in perfect timing, and even closed doors that will protect your peace. I see the big picture you cannot yet see, and I am weaving beauty into places that still feel broken. You will look back and realize that even the smallest details, the ones you thought didn't matter, were essential to your becoming. So rest in this truth. Nothing is wasted, nothing is missing, and nothing is beyond my control. I am working in the details, and the details will reveal my glory. Do not be afraid, my child, of the road that stretches before you, the one that feels uncertain, new and unlike anything you've known before. You have grown accustomed to the familiar, to the patterns and rhythms that made you feel safe. But this next chapter will require faith beyond comfort. I am leading you down a path that will stretch your trust, not to harm you, but to show you how capable my guidance truly is. You may not recognize the terrain, but I know every step. You may feel unsure, but I am already standing at the end of the road, waiting to welcome you into the fulfillment of what I have promised. You are not walking into the unknown. You are walking into the unseen plan I have already completed. The unfamiliar will at first feel unsettling, but it will also feel alive with possibility. You will sense me nudging you to take steps that make no sense to your mind but perfect sense to your spirit. I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight, to rely on my whispers instead of your understanding. The path may twist and turn, but I will illuminate it just enough for the next step. Trust me, I reveal in portions because I am training you in dependence, not control. Every detour you encounter is divine direction in disguise. The very things that look uncertain are the places where miracles will unfold. Do not cling to what was, reach for what is becoming. The old season cannot carry the weight of the new one. You will need to let go of the familiar in order to embrace the extraordinary. I know the unfamiliar feels risky, but remember, I do not lead my children into confusion, only into calling. I am the voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." When you step where I lead, you will discover strength you didn't know you had, courage you didn't know you carried, and provision waiting where you least expect it. The unfamiliar path is not a threat, it is an invitation. I am not taking you somewhere random. I am taking you deeper into destiny. Keep walking, for with every step, you are leaving behind fear and walking into faith. Everything you have waited for, prayed for, and believed for is about to shift faster than you can imagine. You are stepping into a season of suddenly, where years of waiting will be met with moments of fulfillment. The pace is about to change, not because you forced it, but because the appointed time has come. What seemed delayed was only being prepared in precision. You have endured the process, and now you are entering the performance of my promise. One moment it will look like nothing has changed, and the next, everything will align. I am the God of sudden reversals, sudden healing, sudden breakthroughs, sudden open doors. What once took years will now happen in days because the foundation is finally ready. Do not be surprised when things begin to unfold quickly. The acceleration you are about to experience will be divine, not chaotic. You will move with ease because grace will carry you where effort once exhausted you. My favor will precede you, paving the way for opportunities that you didn't even apply for, blessings that you didn't have to chase, answers that will come before you ask. But hear me clearly, the suddenlies are not random. They are the visible fruit of the unseen faithfulness you showed in the dark. Every moment you waited with patience, every prayer you whispered in silence, every act of obedience that went unnoticed, they have all been gathering momentum, and now heaven is releasing their harvest. This sudden season will not overwhelm you. It will anchor you in awe. I am not bringing increase to rush you. I am bringing it to reveal my goodness. You will not have to question whether it's me. The peace that surrounds it will testify of my hand. Do not cling to old rhythms when I am moving at a new pace. Flow with me. Adapt quickly, stay alert, and keep your heart pure. Sudden shifts require steady faith, and I have built that faith in you for this very moment. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into divine acceleration. When you see it happen, remember this. It wasn't sudden to me. It was right on time. There was a time when you felt you had to chase every opportunity, when you ran after approval, after provision, after people, hoping they would see your value. But that time is ending. I am reversing the order. The things you once chased will now begin to chase you. Favor will find you. Blessing will pursue you. Opportunities will seek you out because my name rests upon you. You will no longer need to strive for validation. I am establishing you in visibility. The season of pursuit is giving way to the season of attraction, where what is meant for you will recognize you by the mark of my anointing. You will walk into rooms and find that doors have already been opened in your name. You see, when you abide in me, you no longer chase, you attract. My presence within you becomes the magnet that draws divine provision, connection, and recognition. You do not have to run after what you were born to carry. You are entering a time when you will realize that what you have been looking for has been looking for you all along. You will receive invitations you didn't expect, resources you didn't request, and blessings you didn't negotiate for, because my favor speaks louder than your efforts. When I go before you, no striving can add to what grace has already secured. But understand this. I am not blessing you merely for comfort, but for calling. The favor that finds you will carry purpose. I will use your influence to bring light to others who still chase after empty things. Your story will teach them that peace comes not from pursuit, but from presence. The blessings that chase you will not distract you. They will direct you. I am positioning you in places where your life will speak louder than words, where success will point others back to the source. So slow down, my beloved. You don't have to run anymore. Rest in who you are in me, and you will see what you used to chase will now be running after you, guided by my hand and drawn by my favor. You have felt unseen for so long, overlooked, underestimated, hidden in plain sight. But listen closely, my beloved. I am now causing your name to be spoken in rooms you have never entered. Your name is being mentioned in places of opportunity, in circles of influence, in conversations that are preparing to change your life. You may not hear it yet, but the echo of your faithfulness is resounding beyond your current reach. While you were busy being faithful in the unseen, I was positioning you for the revealed. The quiet consistency of your obedience has drawn my favor, and now I am releasing it in the ears of those assigned to bless you. They will not understand why your name comes to mind, but it will be because my spirit whispered it there. I am opening doors that no resume could have unlocked, stirring the hearts of those who have resources, authority, and access to call your name forth. You have prayed, Lord, remember me, and I am answering by making others remember you too. You will see sudden invitations, divine connections, and unexpected favor that cannot be explained by human logic. This is not coincidence, it is orchestration. When your name is mentioned, it will not be as a beggar pleading for an opportunity, but as one appointed for it. The recognition coming is not about your reputation. It is about my purpose being fulfilled through you. I am placing your name in the atmosphere of destiny. But do not allow pride to enter your heart when the recognition comes. This elevation is not for vanity, it is for visibility so that my glory may shine through your story. Every conversation that carries your name is divine setup for the manifestation of my promise. So stay humble, stay ready, and stay faithful. Your name is not being lifted for your sake alone. It is being carried by angels into alignment with people, moments, and movements that will usher you into the next dimension of your calling. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven had been speaking about you all along. And now, earth is beginning to echo what heaven has already decreed. Your name carries purpose, and it is being spoken into destiny. What I am doing in your life now will not fade away like fleeting favor or temporary relief. This turnaround, my child, is not a moment, it is a movement. I am not giving you a blessing that flickers and fades. I am establishing something lasting, something deeply rooted in my covenant faithfulness. The foundation I have been building in your waiting season is now strong enough to hold the weight of what I am releasing. You have endured storms, but they have only strengthened your structure. The change coming to your life will not be undone, for I am sealing it with my own hand. What I build, no one can break. What I establish, no one can uproot. This will not be a temporary high, but a sustained elevation. You will soon see the evidence of lasting fruit, peace that endures through pressure, joy that does not depend on circumstance, provision that does not dry up when the season shifts. I am securing you in a stability that does not waver. The blessings that once felt fragile will now become firm. I am setting your feet upon solid ground, and I am making you unshakable. When I restore completely, not halfway, not conditionally. The same hand that lifts you up will keep you there. I will surround what I give you with protection. I will hedge your peace, guard your progress, and anchor your promise. The days of instability are ending. No more cycles of almost, of breakthrough followed by breakdown, of joy followed by fear. This time, it will last. This time, it will be secure. You have been through too much to receive something that doesn't endure, and I have been too faithful to give you anything less. I am establishing covenantal permanence. The restoration you will witness is not seasonal, it is supernatural. You will know it is me because nothing will be able to shake it. Not loss, not opposition, not time. What I am setting in motion will outlast you, blessing those who come after you. You are stepping into stability, not suspense. The turnaround is here, and it will stand forever as proof of my unchanging promise. You have prayed for me to change your situation, but what I have been doing runs deeper than that. I am not merely altering what surrounds you. I am transforming what is within you. The shifts you've experienced, the loss, the waiting, the stretching, have not only changed your life, they have changed you. I have been molding your heart, sharpening your discernment, and refining your character. You see, a changed circumstance without a transformed spirit cannot sustain blessing. That is why I did not rush your process. I wanted to strengthen your foundation before I expanded your territory. I am not in the business of temporary fixes. I am in the business of total transformation. Every trial has served as a mirror, revealing who you are becoming. The pain that once made you bitter has made you wiser. The disappointments that once discouraged you have taught you endurance. I have used every challenge as a chisel, shaping you into the likeness of my purpose. You prayed for breakthrough, and I gave you growth. You asked for relief, and I gave you revelation. You sought escape, but I gave you endurance, because I was preparing you not just for a new season, but for a new identity. You are no longer who you were when this began. You are stronger, softer, deeper, and more like me. Now, as your circumstances begin to shift, you will recognize that it is not only the world around you that looks different. You are different. You will not react as you once did, fear as you once feared, or doubt as you once doubted. The same storm that once scared you will now serve you. You will walk in authority, speak with clarity, and live with peace, because transformation has taken place from the inside out. This is not about escape. It is about evolution. I have changed your posture, your perspective, your power. The new life you are stepping into is not just a result of answered prayer. It is the result of a transformed you. And now, nothing can return you to what you were, because you have become everything I intended you to be. You have wept over what was taken from you, the people, the opportunities, the seasons that slipped through your fingers. You have mourned quietly, wondering why I allowed so much to fall away. But I tell you now, what you lost is not comparable to what is coming. You will soon understand that every subtraction was making space for a divine addition. I am not a God who takes away to leave you empty. I remove only to replace with greater. What once felt like breaking was actually clearing. You could not see it then, but I was pruning you for abundance. The branches that seemed bare were only being prepared to bear fruit again, richer, fuller, sweeter than before. I never waste pain, and I never end a chapter without preparing the next one to overflow with purpose. You have been faithful even when you did not understand, and that faith has now become the bridge into your next season. The trust you learned in loss has become the soil in which I will grow your future. As you continue to trust me, you will discover that what lies ahead is not just restoration but transformation, not a return to what was, but an elevation into what can be. I am not bringing back the same kind of blessing you lost. I am bringing something entirely new, something tailor-made for the version of you that emerged from the fire. The person who once grieved will now rejoice, and the hands that once clung to ashes will now carry abundance. So stop measuring your future by your past. You are not going backward. You are moving into more. The loss that once felt final will soon make sense in the light of what is coming. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every silent moment was me protecting you from lesser things. You thought you were losing, but you were being refined for greater capacity. And now, because you have learned to trust me even when it hurt, you will walk in blessings that do not break you but build you. Trust me deeply, my beloved, for the best is not behind you. It is waiting just ahead. What is coming will silence every doubt, heal every ache, and prove that my goodness never left you. It was only preparing something greater. Be still, my child, not out of passivity but out of holy expectation. I am doing something so complete, so redemptive, that you will not have to strive to see it happen. You will simply stand and witness it unfold before your eyes. The same hands that shaped the heavens are now shaping your story. I am not patching up what was broken, I am making it new. Do not look at the ruins of the past and wonder how they will ever be rebuilt. I am not using the old materials. I am building something entirely fresh, something untouched by pain, something that will reflect my glory in ways the former could not. You are stepping into the beauty of renewal. The ashes will not define you. The resurrection will. Standing still does not mean doing nothing. It means trusting me enough to cease your struggling and watch me work. I am turning what once felt final into the foundation for new beginnings. You have tried to fix, to repair, to restore by your own hands. But now, let go. Let me create what you cannot. My restoration does not replicate the past. It transforms it. I will take what was meant to destroy you and use it as the seedbed for destiny. The very things that once caused pain will become the proof of my power. And as you watch, you will see me breathe life where there was death, hope where there was despair, laughter where there was mourning. I make all things new, not some, not most, but all. Nothing in your story is beyond my reach. I am renewing your mind, refreshing your soul, and rewriting your future. The weariness that once ruled your days will lift as my peace fills the empty spaces. You will feel joy again, not borrowed joy, but real, lasting joy that flows from knowing I am in control. Stand still, not because there is nothing to do, but because I am doing everything that matters. Watch closely, for my restoration is already in motion. And soon you will see, I do not restore halfway. I make all things, including you, completely new. The turning point has come. Even as you read these words, my power is moving in unseen places. The shift you have prayed for, waited for, wept for, it begins now. You are stepping out of the long night of struggle into the dawn of breakthrough. Do not measure what I am doing by what you see in this moment. The turnaround begins in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. The chains that once bound you are breaking. The heaviness that once followed you is lifting. The tide that was against you is now turning in your favor. The season of delay is over, and the hour of fulfillment has arrived. I am flipping the script. What once hurt you will now help you. What once opposed you will now open for you. What once was lost will now be legacy. Do not wait for a sign. This is the sign. My spirit is stirring, and my timing is perfect. You are walking into answered prayers that have been maturing in silence. Even the smallest act of faith from this point forward will carry multiplied power because my favor is now in motion around you. What seemed impossible yesterday will become inevitable tomorrow. You will feel the shift in your heart, your mind, your relationships, your atmosphere. The winds have changed, and my glory is rising upon you. Everything that once seemed stagnant will now move with speed and purpose. You will see the pieces come together so beautifully that you will say, only God could have done this. This turnaround is not partial, it is complete. It touches every area in your peace, your purpose, your provision, your relationships, your joy. And it begins not in the future, not in some distant time, but right now. I have spoken it, and my word does not return void. The waiting has ended. The unfolding has begun. So lift your eyes, my beloved, and watch how I fulfill every promise I made to you. The darkness that surrounded you is breaking, and the light of new beginnings is shining. Everything is about to turn around, not someday but today, not eventually but immediately, because I, the Lord your Redeemer, have decreed it. Amen.